In the early 13th century, a nomadic tribe from the windswept plains of Mongolia would rise to forge the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen. The Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to the edges of Europe, but within less than 2 centuries, this vast empire would fracture and fade into history. This is the story of the rise and fall of the Mongols. Before their meteoric rise, the Mongols were a loose confederation of nomadic tribes, living off the land as herders. For centuries, they were known for their incredible horsemanship, survival skills, and tribal warfare. But this would all change in 1206, when a man named Temujin united these warring tribes under one banner and took the title of Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. Genghis Khan's military genius and ruthlessness transformed the Mongols into a conquering force. His army was unlike anything the world had seen, disciplined, fast, and ferocious. The Mongols' mastery of the horse and their devastating use of the composite bow gave them a tactical advantage over the sedentary civilizations they encountered. By 1227, at the time of Genghis Khan's death, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Sea of Japan to the Caspian Sea. Following Genghis Khan's death, his descendants continued his legacy of expansion. His grandsons expanded the empire even further, conquering Persia, the Abbasid Caliphate in Baghdad, and parts of Eastern Europe. Perhaps the greatest achievement of the Mongol Empire came under the reign of Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, who founded the Yuan dynasty in China after defeating the Song dynasty in 1279. Under Kublai Khan, the Mongol Empire reached its height, becoming a multicultural empire that fostered trade, technological exchange, and diplomacy. The famous Silk Road flourished under Mongol protection, connecting the East and West in an unprecedented manner. Pax Mongolica, the Peace of the Mongols. This era, known as Pax Mongolica or Mongol Peace, was a time when trade routes were secured, allowing for the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies. The Mongols imposed strict law and order across their vast empire. For nearly a century, merchants, diplomats, and travelers, including the famed Marco Polo, crossed the empire, bringing stories of its splendor back to Europe. The fracturing of the Mongol Empire. However, the vastness of the Mongol Empire became its greatest weakness. After Kublai Khan's death in 1294, the empire began to fracture. The vast territories were divided among Genghis Khan's descendants, who ruled independently as Khans of 4 main regions: the Golden Horde in Russia, the Ilkhanate in Persia, the Chagatai Khanate in Central Asia, and the Yuan dynasty in China. The once united Mongol Empire began to splinter, with each Khanate developing its own identity and facing local challenges. In China, the Mongol rulers of the Yuan dynasty struggled to maintain control over a vast and culturally distinct population. Corruption, heavy taxation, and natural disasters stirred unrest among the Chinese people. By the mid-14th century, the Mongols faced widespread revolts, including the Red Turban Rebellion. In 1368, the Yuan dynasty was overthrown by the Ming, marking the end of Mongol rule in China. Meanwhile, the other Khanates were also in decline. In Persia, the Ilkhanate crumbled due to internal strife and the devastation of the Black Death. In the West, the Golden Horde, which once dominated Russia, faced growing resistance from the rising power of Moscow. By the late 14th century, the Chagatai Khanate had fragmented as well, eventually falling to Timur, a Central Asian warlord who sought to revive the Mongol legacy under his own empire. Though the Mongol Empire eventually dissolved, its legacy endured. The Mongols reshaped the political and cultural landscapes of the regions they conquered. They connected East and West in a way that had never been done before, influencing everything from trade and warfare to art and architecture. Today, Genghis Khan is remembered not only as a conqueror, but also as a leader who forged a new world order, one where ideas, goods, and cultures flowed freely across continents. From humble nomadic beginnings to the rulers of an empire that spanned half the globe, the Mongols' rise and fall is a story of ambition, conquest, and legacy. Though their empire no longer stands, its impact is felt to this day, reminding us that even the mightiest of empires are not immune to the passage of time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed this journey through history.